Hello everyone, this is Mr. Ng from Remaja Ng Team R788 again. Okay, this is the weekly commentary for Fbmklci, and let's get started by reviewing back the last week's commentary on this Fbmklci. Alright, on the last commentary, I was saying that it was lucky to see the index still supported, get supported above this region, which is about 1,560 over point, and then the resistance will be around 1,640 over point. Okay, and miraculously lah. Okay, I would use the word miracle. Okay, it was miracle to see that our index actually headed back above 1,600 point on last Friday. Okay, it was really a surprise to me. Okay, on the last video, on the last commentary, I was making some assumption where the price might hit. Okay, the price movement might be moving in three scenario, three what do we call that, patterns. Okay, and the second assumption that I mentioned was the Fbmklci most likely will be moving in this pattern, which is going up for 3 days, then comes down for 2 days. Okay, but did it happen? No, it didn't. Instead, it goes down for 2 days, then goes up for 3 days. Okay, be it going down first or going up first, it is a good indication that our market will most likely hit. Okay, will most likely go in a small bull run. Okay, at least for the next week lah. Alright, at least for this coming third week of April. Okay, right now we are on the second week of April and heading towards the third week of April. So it's a good stuff lah. Okay, it's a good thing that the market is going back up. Okay, and if we switch to this weekly chart, okay, if you already know something about technical analysis lah, if you already know about candlestick pattern, this and that, okay, you would realize that this week Friday's closing is a bullish engulfing. Okay, what is a bullish engulfing? Okay, in technical analysis, when you see that a green candle or white candle, okay, fully covered the past week's candlestick, we call it an engulfing. Okay, so this is what happened last week. Okay, and guess what? In early March, you also see the same pattern, okay, in the weekly chart, and then boom, the price goes up. Okay, the index went up to challenge this 1,640 point plus. Okay, so hopefully the coming week or the coming next 2 weeks, we will be able to challenge and break above this resistance, which is around 1,640 over point, or you make it simpler, we just say it is 1650. Okay, so this is what might happen on the coming week lah. Okay, from a broad market perspective, index perspective. Okay, after all, Fbmklci is representing the whole Bursa Malaysia market. Okay, let me continue with some of the index that I covered last week. Okay, I covered on property and also technology. So I'm going to continue covering these two. Okay, I'm going to continue covering on these two index, and the other one will be on construction lah. Okay, so what happened to this property index? Let's see. Okay, on the last week, the index was closed on 779 point, and the week before last, it closed around 770. So I did mention lah. Okay, I did mention it will most likely hit the resistance area, which is here. Okay, which is here, or a smaller one, which is hit okay last week. Alright, so it actually broke through lah. It actually break through lah. This is a small resistance. I think I didn't mention this small resistance on last week's commentary, but anyhow it did break out lah. So where is the direction? Okay, since there are no changes, I mean as in the trend. Okay, there are no changes in the trend. Okay, the property index is still closing higher, so we are going to assume that uptrend is intact, and we will still be looking at this 800 over point. Okay, 830 point. Okay, make it simpler, we just talk about 800 point lah. Okay, so this is the upside that we are looking at. And if we zoom into individual property stocks like Sign Property, Ecoworld, KSL, Marsing, definitely more upside can be seen in these stocks lah, because index is a basket of stocks, but while when we buy shares, we are looking at a single stock only. So normally when we look at a single entity, the upside will be more. Okay, because index we are taking a average. Okay, if we look in the daily chart, okay, from a daily chart perspective, there is a possibility that the property stocks are going into a correction soon. So from weekly perspective, the index are still uptrend intact, right? Intact, but from daily's perspective, personally thinks that what do you call that? The correction might be around the corner. Alright, and if the pattern never change, it should take about 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, then we might probably see the property stocks to continue to trend higher. Okay, this is based on my assumption lah. But if the property are really bullish, really very very strong, okay, it might just take about 1 week. Okay, generally lah, normally it would take about 2 to 3 minimum. But if it's very strong, it's going to take less than 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. This is the pattern of the market lah. It never change one lah. Okay, so this is about property index. And now move on to this tech stock, tech index. So I was saying that in the weekly perspective, okay, the index most likely in a correction, most likely still in a correction. And past 2 weeks, I mean the recent week, the last week and the first week of April, the tech stock have some very good rebound, and I congratulate lah those who caught the action. But if you are not buying into tech stock, it's better to be careful lah. Okay, because the MACD line have has crossed down, and this is not a confirmation. This is just a first signal. Okay, I did mention that it was a first signal that the technology stocks might trend lower. Okay, this is based on technical analysis, and that was on weekly chart. Right now, daily chart perspective. Okay, the tech stocks did have a very good rebound. Okay, so whether it's sustainable or not, I don't know lah. Okay, be careful lor. Take note of this resistance on top, which is already very near. So unless we see a very strong breakout from this recent February, March high, a strong breakout coupled with nice volume, then we can say that tech stocks are intact, uptrend intact. Otherwise, it's better to be safe than sorry. So personally, if you ask for my opinion on tech stocks, long term, yes. Okay, long term, when the market experiences more than 15-20% pullback, you want to enter for long term, just go pick the good, strong fundamental tech stocks like GradTech, D&O, Dufu, Pentamaster, all these strong fundamental technology stocks, and you want to invest for long term. I'm talking about investment. You want to invest tech stock for long term, go ahead. Alright, if market gives a very good pullback like 20%, I would definitely consider to start looking at tech stock. But right now, not the time for me. If you ever hear me mentioning about tech stocks, I was probably talking about hit and run. Okay, a short-term trade, technical trade, that's all. Okay, let's move on to construction, because construction index and the sector, and this sector I just recommend it. I just commented on construction index, construction sector on past few days. Okay, I mentioned about a few stocks like Ho Hub, George Ken, what else? Kim Lun or something else. These are a few stocks. There are many other construction stocks that I mentioned, that I haven't mentioned. Okay, they are more than just these 3-5 stocks that I mentioned. Okay, I just happened to come across this, and I like their pattern. Okay, and fundamentally they are considered acceptable for me. Okay, so viewers, if you are not my client, please seek advice from your own DR, your remisier, or your dealer, because whatever that I just mentioned here, I was sharing to my clients. Okay, I only will recommend stocks to my clients. So it's under the regulation. So I beg your pardon. Yeah. Okay. So get back to this index, construction index. Okay, let me put it back, the moving average 20. Okay, so this is what we see in the index, construction index. And I'm not sure why the volume looks funny here. Maybe it's authentic. Okay, maybe it's a real volume. Maybe something wrong with the system. Okay, let me just take it out. Okay, so anyway, from a weekly perspective, construction stocks construction index has give me a good signal. Okay, the signal that I like to see from stocks. Alright, so normally I will select stocks based on certain chart pattern, and now construction stocks gives me something that I like to see. I mean, show me something that I like to see, and that's why I pick them lah. Okay, I forecast that the next week or the next 2 weeks we might probably see some meaningful rally from this construction sector. Okay, all the forecasting, all the projections are based on technical movement. Okay, I expect that the construction stocks are going to break out from this resistance, which is 180 over point. Okay, and if we look from here towards the next resistance, okay, I just put it down here, which is around 200. Then the next one 220. Okay, if we look at this index, the construction index, from current resistance towards the next, it is about 10%. Okay, 9%, 10%, and towards this 222, we have about 20%. So this is on construction index lah. So if we look into this single stock entity, like I mentioned, like what George Ken. Okay, so from here to the nearest resistance, which is around here, we have about 15%. Okay, so if we project towards a higher resistance, which is around 1 ringgit and 10 cents, about 33%. The next resistance, we will be talking about 40 over percent to 50. So from a single stock entity, the profit margin will normally be higher lah. So if you expect that the index is going to rally for 10%, okay, and the index representing the whole sector, right? So if the whole sector generally we are forecasting a 10% rally, then the single stock entity will be looking at like more than 10. Probably minimal will be 15, 20. So that one a bit depending on your luck lah. Depends on what kind of construction stock that you catch lor, you trade lor. Alright, so this is about construction lah. If we move on to telco index, I think everyone knows what happened last week lah. Axiata and DG start talking about merger again. So that triggers a very strong breakout from telco index. Okay, this telecommunication index in Malaysia is very new. It was first introduced on 2018. So now we just break out from here. Okay, if we look at the weekly chart, it's even more obvious lah. So I think there will be some rally in this telecommunication sector as well. Okay, I'm not going to cover any stocks lah. I mean, I'm not going to mention any stocks in this video lah. So let's see. Okay, so that is it for this week's Fbmklci weekly commentary. And if you like my commentary, please share around with your friends. Okay, bring along your friends to become one of my clients, because I like to share with my clients to help them improve. And if you happen to be liking technical analysis a lot, you can also come to my Facebook page. Just enter BNXY Academy. B and XY will do. I think it will pop out in the Facebook page also. Okay, but it is currently most of the posts are in Mandarin so if you can't understand Mandarin, I have to apologize. You have to wait for the English version. Okay, I'm a bit short-handed right now. Okay, so that's all for the commentary. Hope you all like it, and once again, if you like my commentary, share with your friends, and you can bring them along to reach us, and I will leave my contact and email down there, and also the online registration link. Okay, thank you.